Think earthquakes only belong to California? Think again. From Seattle to St. Louis, America is a ticking seismic time bomb. So, here's the thing. 75% of the United States is now considered at risk. There are hidden fault lines crisscrossing the country, and get this, more than 500 newly identified faults have been found. When it comes to California, the numbers are honestly pretty startling. There's a 99% chance of a magnitude 6.7 or greater quake in the next 30 years. And the potential economic damage? It could hit $213 billion in California alone. The last big quake in the Pacific Northwest was way back in 1700, and it was probably a magnitude 9.0. That means there's a real tsunami potential and yeah, a widespread risk to coastal communities. So, let's talk about the seismic zone that's quietly affecting the Midwest. Back in 1811 and 1812, there were these massive earthquakes that, believe it or not, even shook Boston. Fast forward to 2024, and well, there have already been 177 minor quakes in the area. The thing is, most buildings in the Midwest just aren't prepared for something bigger, which honestly is a bit worrying. Now, shifting over to Seattle, the city actually sits right on top of the Seattle Fault Zone. This is a real threat to one of America's major economic and tech hubs. The thing about this fault is that it's a blind fault system, which means it's hidden underground, making it even trickier to predict. If it were to rupture, the impact could be, well, pretty devastating for the region. And finally, let's head up to Alaska, which, surprisingly, has the highest number of earthquakes in the entire United States. The Denali Fault is a huge concern up there, especially since the infrastructure just isn't built to handle big quakes. Plus, if disaster strikes, the delay in getting aid to remote areas could make things so much worse for the people living there. So, here's the thing. Cities like New York, Boston, and Washington, D.C. just aren't prepared for earthquakes. Most folks don't even realize how vulnerable these places actually are. Even a moderate quake could cause some pretty major damage, mostly because a lot of the infrastructure is, well, outdated and just not built to handle shaking. It's kind of surprising, but yeah, that's the reality. So, let's talk about the risks to our infrastructure. Roads, power lines, gas pipelines, and fiber cables. When a major earthquake hits, it's not just the ground that shakes. Our entire way of life can be disrupted. Nationwide, quakes can throw supply chains into chaos and cut off essential utilities, making it really tough for communities to recover. Every year, earthquakes cause about $14 billion in damages, according to the US Geological Survey. But you know, a single major event could easily rack up costs in the hundreds of billions. And get this, FEMA's budget for preparedness is just $8.5 million. That's honestly a tiny fraction of what's needed if disaster strikes. Sometimes clusters of small earthquakes can actually serve as early warning signs for something bigger. So what can you do? Well, it's a good idea to have an earthquake kit ready, just in case. You might also want to look into earthquake insurance, make an emergency plan with your family, and of course, stay informed by signing up for alerts. Taking these small steps can really make a difference. We walk on sleeping giants every day. The real question is, will we wake up before they do? If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening breakdowns. Stay aware and stay safe.